And welcome back to the show. We, of course, are talking about girl power and some of the things that girls struggle with along the way. One of the statistics that came out of Girls Inc., the Super Girl Dilemma is what this study is called, is that 74% of girls say they are under pressure to please everyone. And so that just goes to some of the things that I know that Epic Girl has been working with. And of course, welcome back to the show, Stacia Freeman, who's the president of the program, and Andrea Hancock, who is outreach coordinator. Before we took a break, we were talking about some of those success stories. And you also have a success story to share, Stacia.
Yes, well, I have a girl right now that's there's so many of them because we've seen over 700 girls in the 3 years that we've been running the Epic Girl program. But there's a girl recently that I've been working with, and she came into the system with some pretty, unique circumstances that could be seen as totally derailing her. And through this process, we've realized, I'm sure she already knew it, just nobody had ever told her, she's very smart. And so when we started, we talk a lot at Epic Girl about, are you living in your weak zone, or are you living in your strength zone? If you're in your weak zone, how do we get you to your strength zone? And she really processed and thought about this. And she said, I think getting to my strength zone is going to be not focusing on the stuff I have to deal with, but focusing on my education. And I remember I said to her one day, I said, I bet you, because she's so smart, I said, I bet you were the best student ever in elementary school. She said, I was top of my class every year. I was so smart. I said, did the teachers love you so much? She said, until about 5th grade. And I said, what happened in 5th grade? And she looked down and then looked up at me and said, life. And I loved that, but I thought that it was such a sign of strength because she could acknowledge what had caused her that dip in the road, but she didn't see it as a stopping point. And she just chose to keep going. And I just think someday, she will be leading something amazing, and she and I will sit and talk about the time when she realized she had the power to change the world. Those
aha moments. So finding those nuggets in each of the girls, especially when they come to you and they may be angry about being there at the beginning, right? So if the court ordered them to come to the program, they see that as a punishment. But how do you turn that around and get the girls to see those nuggets, those jewels about them, those positive pieces that can help them turn their stories and their lives around? How do you do that?
Again, like Stacia was just mentioning about helping the young lady move from their weak zone into their strength zone. And we believe that Epic is heroic. And we tell every young lady that every one of them we know have a hero, any hero within them. And we try to help them bring that hero out. So we help them kind of sift through their circumstances and find out, okay, well, you're smart in school. That's great. You know, you can use that. You can use that to actually change the way things have started out for you. You're able to do art. You're able to draw. And so when you start pulling out, because when they open up, they start talking, and we listen, right? And when we hear that strength that's within them, even if they're talking about a negative maybe or a hard situation, we're here like, you made it through, you have resilience, you have perseverance, you're strong. We start teaching them words like that, and I'm like, I am strong.
Yeah, we really believe that girls will live up or down to what is said about them. So we think that as adults we have to choose our words really wisely. And a lot of the girls that we serve have been told a lot of times they're not smart, they'll never amount to anything, the future is not bright for them. And we say, we don't know what you've been told up until this point, but right now, right here, we're changing the story. And then Andrea and I, we have a good time together. And I
can tell already.
I think
you all bounce off of each other really well.
We're like an old couple, you know. That we, I think sometimes, you know, it's obvious
you have to lighten the load a little bit.
And so people sometimes can be like, whoa, like they're friends. So we invite people into the process to not be afraid of people that don't look like you. Don't assume that just because they maybe didn't have the same struggle as you, that they didn't have some struggle, something to overcome. And at the core of who we are as people, we all want to belong to something that matters, and we all want to be strong overcomers. We all want the same things. We just have to dig through a lot of stuff sometimes to get there.
Andrea, you talked about how you show the girls that they have those strengths within them already, but I'm thinking, Stacia, that the strength of the program is dependent on some community help. So what are the needs for Epic Girl in order for it to keep going? You've been around for 3 years for sure, but surely you want to be around, if you have to be, if there's a need for you to be, for much longer than that.
Right, yeah, well, our ultimate goal is to work ourselves out of a job.
That's what everybody
We want
says.
our girls to be so strong that they don't need us anymore. And I tease them and tell them when I'm old, I'm going to need them to take me to the grocery store and things like that.
And they'll be there, I have a feeling.
Yeah, right. But, we do have a huge need for volunteers that would be willing to serve as mentors, female volunteers. It requires that women go through background checks, and that they go through 12 hours of training on trauma, on our curriculum, so that they understand what educational materials the girls have been exposed to, and so that they and we really want women to understand the importance of consistency. You can't really build a relationship if you're not willing to show up.
Yeah.
So we're really interested in people that are committed to the long term for that. So there is a huge community need for volunteers to show up that are willing to put the work in, to be prepared to mentor the girls that we love.
And are these girls who mainly live in Davidson County, or do you touch the borders of other counties around middle Nashville, I guess?
Yes, so we've had contact from 7 different counties, and now we're
found
up
you
to,
out.
Yes, in 5 different states. And we have a dream to go someday and do what we're doing in the court systems in other areas. But right now we are in Davidson County, Williamson County, Robertson County. And we are only doing a portion of our program in Williamson County and Davidson County. So mostly our full program is in Davidson County.
And if parents or relatives are watching and they think that this might be a great program for their daughter, their niece, their neighbor, how do they get in touch, and what do they do? Or do the girls only come through you from one of the services that's out there?
No, sometimes we'll see parents that have seen us like on programs like this, and then they'll call our office and say, I think my daughter or my niece or my neighbor would benefit. So we love when parents refer directly. Some of our best girls came because their mom or their grandmom saw they had a need for good role models and people pouring into their life. We also are very interested in, I think early on we were doing a graduation, and when it was over, this mom walked up. She's very teary, and she looked at me and she said, Stacia, I want to do this. I want to be part of Epic Girl. And I was kind of like taken aback by like, we stop at 17 unless you've been through the program, But then I realized that there is a need for all of us to feel valued and encouraged and empowered and celebrated. And so in the fall, we'll start a parent team program where we will actually start to pour into the moms to teach them much of what we teach our mentors about kids don't react in anger because they're bad kids. It's not about, what's wrong with you. It's about what happened to you to make you feel this way. And sometimes the parents themselves are parenting from their trauma. So we believe that it's about our communities becoming stronger so that we're all more equipped to live together in this space and to love and encourage and empower each other.
We've got probably just a minute or 2 left. Let's talk contact. How do you get in touch with you, and give some specifics? Go online, you've got an email address. How can people reach out?
Yes, so if you just want more information about Epic Girl, it's contact@epicgirl.net. Okay. And then our phone number at the office is 615-983-6826. You can also go to our website, epicgirl.net, hit the contact link and put in your information, and someone from Epic Girl will contact you. You can fill out the application for mentoring online. And if you're a professional in the Nashville area, you can even sign up to come to community group and speak to girls to empower and encourage them. They love music. They express themselves a lot through poetry and rapping and writing. So we're always interested in having other women share their stories about how those types of strengths, you know, empowered them and got them to a place where they could really feel strong.
And if corporations are interested in supporting, are you a not-for-profit also?
We are.
So
we're a
that
501c3
Perfect.
nonprofit, and we have we're a charitable entity in Tennessee, and obviously for any nonprofit there's always a funding need. Our girls, when girls say what do, we say we eat a lot. My board's always like, do you know how much money you spend on food? I'm like, yes, because if you feed them, they will come. So lots of hot chips and Sprite and Chick-fil-A. Yes.
Well, and a lot of great work, I can tell as well. So Stacia Freeman, Epic Girl President, appreciate you being here. Andrea Hancock, thank you so much for being here as well and sharing your story. We'll make sure we get all that contact information on the website as well. We thank you for being with us as well. We will see you again next time.